Welcome back everyone to Piney Plays the Rune-keeper. And today we are going to head up to Weathertop. And let's head off and get up to the top of the hill. Now there are two ways to get up to Weathertop from Candate's camp. One is the way I'm going, which, now that I think of it, is probably the long way. And the other way is to head up south from Candate's camp and hug the hill that way. That way can be a little bit trickier, but if you know it, it can be a little faster. Oh yes, make sure that I remember where I'm at. There is a turn. Yes, this is the turn. And now this will zag us back up. Until we get up to the summit. I think we're getting close. Oh no, we don't want to go that way. Nah. Trying to figure out whether or not this is the right path completely, because there are some paths that have some tricky turn-offs on there that I just want to make sure that I don't miss the right turn. So actually this looks like we're getting close now. Yeah, here we are. Weathertop on the summit. And we need to find some sign of what may have caused the lightnings. So maybe this thing will help us to give us a clue. Alright, looks like we found a stone with a rune on it. Well, I suppose that could have some relation. If you recall my class quest, I managed to do some lightning summoning up on the top of Weathertop and using some runes for that. So perhaps this is a rune stone someone put up in order to summon the lightning. Though perhaps Candate will have another opinion on the matter, and we'll find that when we get down to the bottom. And that's of course assuming I can find my way back down. Now of course there are faster ways down. You could just jump over a cliff. It's a lot easier to jump down a cliff than it is to jump up a cliff. Of course the only thing that will do is to probably send you to the nearest res circle. Or I guess rally circle in this game. And perhaps I'll take out a bird or two, or an orc. Long way there. Never hurts to kill a few extra orcs. Get a little extra rep with the locals. And now back to the swift way. And I'm sure it looks like we are getting closer to the camp now. Hello, Candace. Very well, I found this rock on top.
Greetings.
Right. You don't know who put it there? Well, you don't know why it was put there, but you think Gandalf did it. Alright. Whatever you say. Now, I have to admit that there were some technical difficulties with this recording, meaning I turned off the sound. I turned off my microphone accidentally and muted it before I recorded this. So I'm going to have to, so I'm putting in the narration after the fact. And I can't read that text from here. I'll just have to tell you what I recall, and in this case, We have two choices here, a solo version and a
What do you
fellowship
need?
version of this quest. I'm taking the solo version. I don't think I could solo the fellowship version. The idea is that he found a group of orcs that were heading to take over Weathertop. They were all together. He was hoping that they would disperse after getting to the top, and that maybe then we could come back after they finished taking it and take it back ourselves. So it's our turn now to retake Weathertop. And I certainly took a long time in reading this quest text. And the object here is, as I said, to retake it, and the solo version is much easier than the fellowship version. For one thing, the boss fight. The boss fight in the solo version gives you an inspiration bonus, which means that if you're there alone, you get a huge bonus to your abilities that allows you to take on the boss. Now, you don't get the inspiration bonus before then, but
What can I do for you?
the enemies are most likely easier to fight. But here we are, heading off onto
Once a
Weathertop.
watchtower of the Dunedain, now a refuge for orcs. Candace the Ranger strives to break their foothold.
What do you want me to
in
do
the
now?
wilds.
Of course, we're to go forward and start killing goblins, or orcs, or whatever's up on top. So let us head forth, and now we can battle, and we'll be facing 2 or 3 mobs at a time. So using a little fire here before the lightning, so I could advance that deed. It'll probably take me forever to do the fiery ridicule deed because I do keep on forgetting to use it at the start. Like there. So in this case, of course, when you have patrols walking past you, you have to use something instant. And forward onto more goblins. Now the goblins here tend to be greenies, in other words, swarm. So therefore I really don't need Candate for this all this much. It's like 3 swarm, I should be able to easily face that by myself. But they need an NPC to complain about things. Now, here he's explaining about the torches, where I'm to take this torch. The idea here is to split the group ahead. Where this draws some of the enemy, up here you see these 3. Otherwise I'll probably have to face these 3 and a few extras. So the entire point of that was to explain the trick for this particular instance. And now we take care of the rest of the camp, or the next 3. And ta-da! We reached the first major checkpoint. In other words, they wanted us to stop until candidates could explain what was coming next. Because now he's decided, yes, it is time to split apart. That I am to take the left path, and he is to take the right path, and we are to meet again at the summit. No, I can't remember what excuse he gave that we would want to split the party. How the 2 of us are going to be able to handle all these orcs and goblins by ourselves, and that's a wise thing to split the party. When you figure we'll probably be facing a large number of enemies along the way. Nevertheless, that's his grand plan, typical of a plan that you get in LOTRO, or probably in any MMO. So now I go up ahead, And of course, we're immediately presented with another torch. And lighting another torch. Now you may be wondering why I decided to record over this, in other words, put in a narration after the fact, rather than do what I did last time, and that was place it in the supplemental area, which is what I did with the last time where I had a technical difficulty with the recording. Well, first off, during the last time I had a technical difficulty. Oh, this time we have orcs instead of goblins. Last time I had a technical difficulty, it was that the speech was too soft, and not that it was completely absent. Which meant recording over it might have created some other types of problems. And also, I didn't think it was anything that was exciting enough in order to warrant me trying any alternates. Okay. But in this case, there are things that I discussed that I think that I should mention in here. And as I go to finish off these orcs, and that has to do with how I plan to continue with the channel for the next month. It has to do with how they're planning to do with Update 13. Now, in case you haven't heard, Update 13 is going to be including some revamps. A revamp to the North Downs, to the Trollshalls, and to the Misty Mountains. And I thought that it would be very good to send this character through the North Downs. Unfortunately, of course, in a month's time, I'd very easily out-level that, because right now I'm at level 23. I think it's 23 right now. That's the problem with narrating over and not being able to see your bubble very well. But I'm about level 23, which means if I level any more, I'll start to out-level the North Down. So I don't want to level any more between now and then. So I'll probably do a minimal amount of stuff for this. Oh yes, I'm waiting for the goblins to come out because you need to light the one in order for them to open up the gate. So the idea is then that I will use this character for the North Downs. So you may be wondering, well, what am I going to do in the meantime? Well, first off, I'll be reactivating my Lore Master. My Lore Master has had a bit of a rest due to this time, but seeing how they've toned down the pets a little bit, I think it's time to revive my Lore Master. And what I'm going to do is do a few quests around the Forsaken Inn, and after that I will be heading into the North Downs. I'll probably be a little bit over level since I don't have any way to turn off experience there. Right, still killing off goblins. I'm getting into the war camps now. But I figure I certainly wasn't paying attention there. I grabbed the next mob while the other goblin was circling around. And I didn't notice it until that mob ganked me. But then when I was watching the replay here, yes, I did see, yep, that goblin was circling around and was easily visible. Amazing how hindsight works in these things. With my Lore Master, it doesn't matter if my Lore Master is a little bit over level because I'll be showing you the old version of the North Downs. And the idea is that you have a comparison, the old version of North Downs versus the new version of the North Downs. And I'll be skipping Evendim on that character. On this character, I'll be probably bouncing a little bit between the North Downs and Evendim. and perhaps the lowlands, but I have the luxury of being able to turn off XP on this character. So I might do a few things here on this character, but I don't want to do anything in the North Downs simply because I'll most likely block myself out of some quests in the area and not show how the content is in the new version if I level any further. Now, in addition to this, I'll also be posting the Dananglor skirmish series more frequently for Skirmisher Middle-earth. I was trying to do them once a week, but now I'm going to do that at a much faster pace, so I could finish Dananglor by the end of this month. Now, my first two vids I did for Dananglor were also without sound, but that I can easily re-record because it's a skirmish. You do a skirmish as many times as you want. So that's no problem there. I did record the first episode with the Lore Master, doing a few of the quests down near the end, also without sound. So I'll probably overdub that one too. But after that, I haven't recorded anything else, thank goodness. So therefore, the rest of them could be in my usual style of recording and doing the narration at the same time, because I much prefer that way. It's much more spontaneous, and I can read the quest text when I need to. Alright, now I think we're getting near the top here. Yep, here we go. I think that's Candade's up there. And of course, we split the party and he gets hurt. What did you expect? Nothing good could come out of it, right? Right, now what we're to do here is we are to face whatever bosses we have at the top. And the bosses at the top is where we get our inspiration bonus. We managed all the way up here so far without any special bonuses. And they give us an inspiration bonus here, probably because the boss here is an elite troll. Now this is one of those things I don't quite understand. I suspect that at the time, Turbine... I spent the time grabbing the Hobbit present. Yeah, I don't think it was anything exciting, so I'm not going to worry about this. So now I have an inspiration bonus, and I first get rid of the minor boss. And then he runs up, and frees the troll. Actually, he doesn't literally run up anymore, but the troll does get released, and it's an elite troll. And I guess they figured that in order to face the elite troll, we need an inspiration bonus plus the other people there. Now, personally, I think they could have changed the troll to a signature and maybe downgraded the units there, and it would have been just as well. Probably when they did this, they did not believe in having signature trolls or something, that they felt they had to be elite. So I suspect that if they did this today, they would have done it that way instead of using an inspiration bonus. But that was the style back then. And that completes the retaking Weathertop instance, so we can get out of here. Took me that long to read that? He's just saying, okay, we're done. Alright, that completes the instance, and we travel back to camp.
What do you need?
And now we advance this, choose whatever reward we choose for this. And that completes what we need to do for this particular episode. Now, we are going to, after this, pick up the next quest and take a ride to the Forsaken Inn. But we can save that till next time. Alright, I'll let you see the reward that I pick out of these 4 items. And once we do that, we'll sign off. So we'll return next time with the next episode of Pineleaf Plays the Rune-keeper. I don't know when that is compared to the others. But it will most likely be leading us up into the North Downs. And until then, this is Pineleaf Needles. So long.